This is a brief tutorial regarding the iLearn Homework Manager that is your digital way of doing homework. I've intentionally made my screen a little shorter than I normally would to point out one common thing that is important for all students to remember. You must get into the habit of scrolling down, and then that way you can double check to see if more things are available. So with that in mind, I'm going to take you through two different ways of looking at this homework manager. The optimal scenario would be to actually read your textbook first and then look at examples carefully. And we've got this homework table here for you, and we've broken down the homework as best we can to make it bite-sized pieces, very doable for you. You'll notice that some problems come in clusters, in small groups that pertain to the same topic, and then others will come in an independent fashion. So let's suppose you were trying to better understand problems 1 through 4. We've got some great helps for you in addition to listing where the examples are that would help you directly on the homework. We've also listed the problem numbers of the homework in the chapter that you could take a glance at. There are going to be obviously answers to the odds in the back of the book that are helpful. We've also given you the title of that section that's listed in the text. And in this case, we're talking home loans of a student loan variety. So suppose you needed just a little more help trying to better understand the concept. You've got great tutorial videos here, so I'm going to click right here. And this oftentimes will be a pop-up little window that streams in. And these are done by the company, and we'll be making some of our own in the future as well. And so those tie in nicely with the textbook, professionally done by the textbook company. Then also you've got what we call interactmath.com, a website that is free that you can access outside of iLearn, but we've taken the time to integrate it within your iLearn system as well. So if you needed help with this very first problem, 1 through 4, you could simply click right here. It turns out it'll be exercise 15. But when you first go in, you need to take just a moment, click the enter button, then locate your actual textbook. This is about the only painful part to do, and you only have to do it once each homework session. So we're trying to locate the author of your book, and his last name is Bennett, and we'll be going with the 6th edition. There it is. I'm going to click right there, and then you can see immediately whether or not it's the right match. And this is the actual textbook we're using, so I'm going to hit submit. When I hit submit, it takes me to all the different chapters of the textbook. But it turns out that now that I've been there, I can actually just close that tab up out of my browser, because now it's going to remember where that is. And so from that point on, for the rest of the time today that I'm working on my homework, that's the only time I'd have to do that, because now when I click on the actual exercise, you're going to notice that it's going to take just a moment. It's going to zoom right into exercise 15, which is the same parallel type problem that you're going to be doing on your homework. And there it is. There's the exercise number. And the nice thing about interactmath.com is it gives you some great resources. For example, it has a help me solve this button. So if I click here, it will walk me through step by step, show me how many parts are remaining down here. I can hit continue after I've read the material, and I can even practice right there and check my answer. Or we can hit view an example. Now, view an example is less interactive. It's just walking you through without allowing you to type things in, but it gives you a great amount of feedback and excellent tutorials. So that's called interactmath.com. You can access it even if you are not inside of iLearn, but we've tried to make it more convenient for you with these links. All right, so back to the manager right here. So once you're ready to get started into the homework, this is where these buttons come in handy right here. So when I click on 1 through 4, I'm going to get the actual homework that's going to be graded. Now it's important to remember when you're inside of interactmath.com, although it will tell you whether you got answers right or wrong, that is not for your grade. Your actual grade for your homework has to be done within the iLearn problems themselves. And you'll know you're inside of iLearn when you see these homework helps up here at the top. Alright, so then you would go ahead and work that problem out, putting in your answers here. And then notice that at the very bottom there will be a submit. And I wanted to help you understand the difference between submit and done. So I'm just not going to answer any of these. I'm going to go ahead and miss them all and hit submit. When I hit submit, then that tells me that I have accomplished these problems on the screen, but it doesn't mean that I have hit or I've completed the entire homework set. Because notice I have three choices here. I can do a retake, and that's the nice thing, is to be able to give it another shot if I've missed any of those four. Or I can move on to the next batch of problems, numbers 5 through 8. Bottom line is, when you're completely done with the assignment and you feel good about your score, it's the best you can do, that would be the one time you'd hit done. So notice the difference between submit and done. Submit pertains to each individual set of homework problems, but done pertains to the entire assignment. Alright, so those are just a few subtleties I thought I'd point out to you. And maybe the last idea, take advantage of these examples that are provided. We give you exact page numbers where you can go to see if you can get to the right location. So I'm going to take you through one different example here if I can. Let me come back to, I'm going to hit done, come back to the problems themselves. And by the way, when you do that, notice that in this help box right here, notice how it has a score for me, and it tells me how many times I've attempted. And if I've attempted multiple times, when you click here, it would actually give you a pull-down menu, and you can go back in time and actually see things from the past. So that's pretty nice to be able to take advantage of. But I'm going to take you specifically into problem 9. So here's an example of a homework problem that isn't in a set of 2 or more, but rather it still has multiple problems, but it is considered to be just one homework, number 9. And to get it right, you've got to get all 3 of these right, of course. More importantly, I wanted to show you that even within the homework itself, we have all of these help menus up at the top, all of these links. And then there's example 2. So when you go to your textbook, you'd want to be trying to locate, say, page 240, example 2, and then that would give you more background. So I happen to have this example up on the screen right here. And so here's page 240. You'd read carefully through the example. Try to tutor yourself, in other words. Try to get more comfortable with the language that the author uses, the steps that the author might apply to solving a problem. And then when you're ready to go, then bounce back to your browser, and you're ready to actually do the homework. So in summary, there are essentially 4 different things to do to get better and better at these problems. You've got the textbook examples, you've got additional problems in the back of the chapter with the odd answers at the back of your book that are very helpful. You've got videos, and they will work within the homework itself. Notice if I click right here, we get the pop-up menu. And that particular video right there, come to think of it, was not one done by the textbook company, but one we built ourselves to give you some practical help with the calculator and with this particular topic. And then finally, don't forget that in Interact Math, you've got links that'll take you right to the actual homework problem style, the parallel problems, with all kinds of great opportunities for practice. But remember that these are not gradable. You have to be back into your original iLearn Manager to get the actual grade. So submit will help you to wrap up a topic of problems, and then done is when you do it at the very end to complete your assignment. Hopefully that was helpful for you to give you kind of an overview of the iLearn Homework Manager, and take full advantage of all the different tools, and you'll find your homework scores will be excellent, and more importantly, you'll be learning the material at a deeper level. Thanks a lot for visiting, and good luck to you.